Hey guys, welcome to my next video. So as promised in my previous video with the Formula Barth at Imola, I'll be driving today the Ferrari 458 Italia. So as you can see, it's a magnificent car, beautiful car, amazing car. It's a few different ways to describe it. It's a really excellent car. That's another way to describe it. It replaces the mid-range sports cars for Ferrari. So the previous generation car would be considered the F430. So it's not top of the line in terms of Ferrari cars. That's reserved for the LaFerrari. But it is still a really fast car. It has, or I should rather maybe perhaps explain a little more the name of the car, where it's derived from, and that will kind of give you some insight into the car itself. The 458 represents the engine displacement and the number of cylinders of the car. So the 4.5 would represent the 4.5 liter engine, or 4,500 cc engine. And the 8 represents the number of cylinders. It has 8 cylinders. In terms of the type of engine, it's a V8 engine, so it's not inline or flat or boxer engine. It's a V arrangement, and the cylinders are arranged in a V sorting, you could say, or V design. It's very much commonly used in high performance cars, so you rarely see cars that use any other type of arrangement. The exceptions, of course, is the Porsche 911 range, which uses a flat engine. Flat, it's not a V8 or V6 or anything. It's a flat 6 engine. But in terms of other cars, such as the Pagani Zonda or Lamborghini Gallardo, cars like that have the engine types a V type engine, you could say. So yeah, this is the Ferrari 458 Italia. It has 570 horsepower, so it's quite powerful. And it's a considerable step up over the previous generation F430, which had 490 horsepower. It weighs 1,390 kilograms, so in terms of weight compared to its competitors, it can be considered a light car. It's not the lightest by any means. A Lotus Exige, which weighs I think around 800, 900 kilograms, maybe a little more, or the Caterham Super 7, which weighs around 600, 700, so maybe even less, 500, I think, perhaps. So it's not the lightest of cars, but in terms of its power output and its weight, it's quite fast. It is still quite fast in its own right, so it would still, on a regular circuit, I would say it would beat the lighter cars. On a narrow circuit where lots of corners and all that, they're not so sure, but in terms of regular high-speed circuits, the power does count, so the car is fast for sure. It has 540 Newton meters of torque, so it's quite a torquey engine. To give you an idea of the kind of torque, it's kind of playing around the World Rally Car range, so that gives you a good idea of how much torque it has. Those engines in World Rally Cars are, known to be quite torquey engines, lots of torque. So it's nice. So in terms of driving and everything, what does that mean? The power feels more instantaneous on the throttle, so the car, you always feel that the power is there. It's 0 to 62 miles an hour. That's the official. It's not just 60, it's 0 to 62 really. Miles an hour. Time is 3.3 seconds, so that's quite good, really good. It's only about 3 or 4 tenths off the Ferrari Enzo. So that has 90 more horsepower, so it's not bad. It's not bad at all. In terms of my own personal opinion, I can't say it's my favorite Ferrari. I think that still goes back to the Ferrari F50 for me. But the LaFerrari is looking really good, so that might be my new favorite Ferrari, or favorite car of all time, really. When I first saw it, I kind of had slight issues with the design. So the car is shaped very nicely, but there's little design choices here and there that kind of make me think I'm not so sure about it, such as you can see right now the vents alongside the front headlights. I don't really like it, but they do serve a function for cooling the brakes. So yeah, that's okay. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, it's a lovely car. It was unveiled in 2009, I think. So it's quite fast. Their competitors. I mean, to be fair, it's a newer car, so it'd be unfair to compare it to the current generation 911 Turbo or Lamborghini Gallardo, because those cars came out a while ago. So the competitor to those cars would have been the F430. So the 458 Italia is a newer car, and eventually, of course, Porsche will release a new 911 Turbo, and that's when you can compare it to the 458 Italia. So yeah, this has been a quick showcase of the Ferrari 458 Italia. I'll be going to the circuit now, so I'll see you in a few moments. Okay guys, now I'm on the circuit. Now in my previous video with the Formula Barth at Imola, I would have been driving, and as well as narrating, but this time there's some audio issues with narrating while I'm driving, so I'll just be narrating along the video. So I've already driven here, so yeah, so you'll notice there's a few more displays on screen compared to the Formula Barth video. So on the left most side of the screen, you can notice there's like a number of vertical bars, so that represents my pedals input. So at the moment it's full green, and now it's a bit red. So that represents my throttle and brake input. The bar on the left there, that blue outlined bar, is for clutch. I won't be using that since this car uses a paddle shift transmission. And then the bar on the far right, which is going crazy all the time, is a force feedback gain bar. You don't need to worry about that. That's more for to tune my wheel correctly for Assetto Corsa. Then the next display there, you'll notice, is a sort of a curved bar graph of my RPM of the car. So in the middle there, you can see there's a gear indicator, so you can see it also on the dashboard. So the primary reason why I have that display is just so you can see a digital readout of my speed, which is at the bottom of the display. So there's an analog display in the dashboard, but if you wanted to see a more easily readable representation, you can see that as well. And then on the right side there, that's just a fun thing, you can say. It's a G meter, so it represents the G forces the car is undertaking going around corners, around accelerating and braking. So the lateral represents sideways movement, so that will increase as I'm turning. You'll notice there, just I'm turning in, so it went up to about 0.9 G. It goes up to 1 G sometimes. And then the long is longitudinal G-force, so that'll change as I'm accelerating out of corners or braking, or just, yeah. So on my first flying lap there, I set a 1 minute 12.680. That's not bad. It's about just under a tenth off my personal best, which is a 1 minute 12.592. But I do know this will be my new personal best. so you'll see that, and you'll see when the lap times recorded. So I hit about 247 kilometers per hour down this back straight. So I brake here at the corner marker. So turn in, make sure I hit the inside curve of Stowe here. I don't want to miss that inside curve. Then come up to Vale. I brake at the corner marker again. I go down to second this time because it's a tighter corner compared to Stowe. And then a slight lift going into club. Just a double apex right-hander. Then there's another inside there. That's the second apex that I aim for. Then onto the start-finish straight. So yeah, this was my new personal best of 112.484. So I was quite pleased about that. And you see I'm fighting the car constantly on exit. It's just the there's so much power that if I kind of go a little bit generous with my throttle input, it goes nuts, goes crazy. So I have to manage that, to modulate the throttle smoothly to avoid any form of sliding. So I was pushing harder again this lap, but it wasn't going to be a personal best. So it's not too bad, you know. But I'm just trying out stuff. So I went a bit sideways going to Stowe there. That was okay. I kind of gathered it together before it got out of hand. So you'll notice I'm kind of clipping curbs all over the place. The curves here are pretty flat, so it's not an issue to go onto them. It's all about limiting or minimizing corner distance. So the closer I am to the inside of the corner, the less distance I cover. Thus, I can go around. I can be done with the corner in less time. So, and less time is faster. So that's the key element. But sometimes I go a bit too far on the inside and I clip those sort of high curbs, which is sort of like a curb within a curb in a way. So those you don't want to clip at all. They'll just throw the car off. So I'm 480.480 down on my personal best first sector. So I don't think I set. I did not beat my personal best here. So that was my best lap. So you'll notice as well that I'm driving in the evening, so it's 6 p.m. local time in Silverstone, and showcases the nice sunset effects, lighting effects of Assetto Corsa. So it does have really good lighting. I mean, it's just DirectX 11 in effect. So, and you'll notice the shadows in the cockpit are dynamic as well. So it's not a case of just static shadows, or you'll notice they're constantly changing according to where the car is positioned compared to the sun. So it's yeah, a nice bit of detail there. So this will be my last lap. I said I would do 3 to 5 laps, so this is my 5th flying lap. So I'll be ending this video after this lap. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It gives you a bit of an insight into the Ferrari 458 Italias in Assetto Corsa. It's a really fun car to drive and challenging to drive quickly. So on to the start finish straight for the last time. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you have any comments about this video, please comment below, and I'll see you in my next video.